Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit sun, sextile, or trine one's natal Black Moon Lilith. Now, this transit can manifest in creativity, life, action, drive, motivation, focus, and attention. Now, this could be in harmony, um, really, with trying to deal with the negative manifestation of the sign. It's not going to be where it would it would help bring out the negative qualities, but it might help you deal with this a little bit better. Maybe if you have something you're expressing that's connected with the negative manifestation of your natal Black Moon placement, this is the time where you could put your focus and attention on it. Some isolated cases, somebody has the natal Black Moon. We'll say they have it in Aquarius in their second house in their natal chart. It could be or somebody, maybe they had caused some dissension, say in an astrological or astronomical community, in order to have a greater self-worth. And really, it can be, trying to maybe focus on embracing the higher level of the placement. Remember, you're talking about, sextiles and trines are good relationships. And you have a good relationship with the sun and the Black Moon when you have that transit. And it could be, in that case with Aquarius, the Black Moon was in Aquarius in the second house. That could be, and if you're embracing the positive energy connected with the placement, it could manifest in, say, making contributions to astronomy, to astrology, computers, electronics, that would actually generate income for you, and would actually really that would be the way to help enhance self-worth and self-esteem. In that example with the Black Moon in the second house in one's natal chart. Now, another thing is that the Black Moon is also connected. It could be with a formidable adversary. I have, my natal Black Moon is in Leo in the fourth house, and I had to deal with. I would say, there's one person that I believe it strongly represents. That somebody that was very domineering, in my home life, and somebody that was very, meddlesome as well, in the process, and would instigate, drama and problems. And but at the same time, when you have this transit, the sun making a good, sextile or trine to the natal Black Moon, that could manifest in being able to put your focus and attention on that issue, and perhaps do something about it, find some resolution to it. Now, the thing is, this transit only lasts for about 5 days, though, keep in mind. So it doesn't last that long. So it's important to try to maximize the opportunity when it does exist. And it can be, again, about trying to actually resolve something with the situation, and not, if you are dealing with somebody that is a powerful enemy that's connected with this Black Moon placement, it is a time where you have better opportunity to take action in those matters. Now, in that matter, now, the thing is, now let's say if you have the natal Black Moon in Aries in your seventh house is another example. It could be, somebody may be dealing with a very abusive, could be a significant other, it could, marriage partner, and it might be that time where you may feel it's time to find a resolution to that problem, and be able to embrace the higher level of the placements, such as having, as that example, the Black Moon in Aries in the seventh house, having the courage and fortitude to deal, to actually counter and combat people in those situations. I don't mean necessarily physically, but doing something to have the courage, say, to extricate yourself from the situation. Now, another thing too is that the Black Moon is also associated with people that are prominent in your life, people that can play a provocative role in your life. Now, the thing is, it can be a time where you can have, more of that attention, more of that focus on those people, being able to have, the life, so to speak, the life, to be able and integrate these people in your life better at this time, more so than usual. Remember, the sun is about life, and you'll be likely more physically up for this, and to do activities, with these people at this time. It can be because the sun is connected with our energy and our vitality, and these are people that can that again have played Black Moon Lilith can represent people that have played a provocative role in your life. And say if you have the natal Black Moon Lilith and Virgo in the third house as an example, it could be maybe somebody that helped you diagnose vehicles as an example, or helped you be more analytical in your communications in general, as an example. So anyway, now another thing too, the Black Moon Lilith is also connected with trauma. So if you are dealing with some trauma that's associated with the Black Moon Lilith, it can be placement, whether it's physical or an emotional level. This is a time where you could put more of the focus on this and not have little diversions or distractions in doing so. The natal Black Moon Lilith, like in my case, I have the natal Black Moon Lilith in Leo. There might be issues, with me at some point with my heart, my spine, upper back, that need to be addressed, and this could be the time where you have a better chance of addressing those issues. If you have the natal Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, there might be some issues with the physical trauma with the arms, the shoulders, the hands, the nerves, issues with lungs or breathing. And this is a time when you have better opportunity, putting more of your focus and attention on it, have taking action in these matters at this point in time. And it could also be, remember that the Black Moon Lilith is also connected with emotional, it's trauma that can be emotional as well. And it could be just, something where you're dealing with, say you have, the natal Black Moon Lilith, say it's in Capricorn, and say it's in Capricorn, your fifth house. It could be somebody, lover or a child that's being overly negative toward you, maybe saying a lot of derogatory things, or it could even if it's in Virgo in the fifth house, it may manifest that way because Virgo, of course, is very critical and judgmental energy. Now, another thing is the Black Moon Lilith is connected with fixation and obsession. So it can be a time, if you are dealing with something in your life where you're overly obsessed or fixated on, this is again the time where you're more of an opportunity to put that focus and attention on it and be able to really have the drive, the motivation to do something about it. Remember, the sun is also associated with the biological father and children, if you do have any, if applicable. And it can be where these people may be able to be of more assistance. If something has been troubling you and you want to become obsessed with a certain issue in your life for whatever reason, and you can't, and it's dominating your existence to the exclusion of other things, this is the time where you have more of a chance to do something with it. Because remember that the sun is making it good. It's just a positive aspect with the Black Moon Lilith, and it's a time where you could put more of that focus and attention on that, more so than usual. If you have the Black Moon Lilith, say it's in your fifth house, it could be some kind of love or romantic attraction maybe you're dealing with, or maybe something that could be as one example. Or if it's in the eighth house, say, it could be somebody that you're just might be completely sexually enamored with, and it might be something or might be something with some criminal investigation that you're doing, where it's at a point where you're just you become so obsessed with something you become oblivious to other things. And the biological father and her children, which the sun is connected with, may be of more assistance in that example. Now, another thing too is that the Black Moon Lilith is also connected. It's nefarious. It's a dark side. This could be a time where you're more apt to be able to do something. If you're about this, that there is some kind of nefarious or dark side that you're dealing with, that's connected with this placement. If the natal Black Moon Lilith is in Capricorn, maybe there is some might be a very cold or undemonstrative side. It could be connected with ruthless ambition. This is something, the Black Moon Lilith is also connected with what may put one in a strong state of fright or trepidation. Hold on a moment, people. And the thing about this is the fact that the Black Moon Lilith, again, is what could put one in a strong state of fright or trepidation. This is the time where you have, the ability to put more, focus on this, more attention on this at this time, more so than usual, and actually do something about it. If you have the natal Black Moon Lilith in the second house, it could be, or Taurus, it could be just matters with just generating your own income, making your own money, being more self-reliant, and becoming less dependent on someone else. It could be a time to, I have the natal Black Moon Lilith in Leo in the fourth house. That for me could be maybe just being that dominant person at home, and being able to have the dominance in a good way in my own home life, and maybe that is causing some strong state of fright or trepidation in me for whatever reason. I might not always be consciously aware of it. Now, another thing too is that the Black Moon Lilith can also be connected with a void, or what we feel there is a void, as far as a void in our life. And this is a time where you can maybe take greater chance to take more action in connection with it at this time. And it may be some time where you can have the energy and the vitality to be able to do something about this at this point in time. The sun is also about our creativity. So these things might be able, to blend in with, the positive element and the expression of the positive element of the Black Moon Lilith. If the Black Moon Lilith placement is an Aquarius, say, in your natal chart, it could be doing some kind of computer graphic art design that has creativity in it. Another thing too is that the Black Moon Lilith also is connected with what we don't want unveiled, what we may be suppressing from others. And the thing is, if somebody has this, say, in their 12th house, it could be, some prison record. Sometimes somebody might have been incarceration. Say if the natal Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio in the 12th house, it might be being incarcerated for some kind of insurance fraud, or it could be a sexual crime, or something where you had manipulated a person. In some cases, it can, something that can be connected with Scorpio, and as an example. And again, this is something to, when you look at, the Black Moon Lilith placement, it's also connected with our erotic sexual drive. And this is a time where you could put, it's about more of a focus, more of attention on this at this point in time. And it's something where you might have more actual drive and motivation toward actually expressing it at this time, more so than usual. And it's also a time, another way this transit can be expressed, it could also be a time where the biological father and children, which is connected with the sun, can favor you embracing the higher level of the placement, the Black Moon Lilith. Now, let's say, for example, like in my case, I have the Black Moon Lilith in Leo in the 4th house. It could be in creativity, in generosity, which is Leo, in the home, which is the 4th house. That could be a positive expression of embracing higher level of it, as an example. And it's also about having the right amount of energy and vitality, which is the sun, for matters with people prominent in your life, which is connected with the Black Moon Lilith. Say, for example, if the natal Black Moon Lilith is in Capricorn in the 11th house, this could be a person that may have mentored just Capricorn you in astrology, astronomy, or computers, which is connected with the 11th house. This can also be auspicious for taking action, which is the sun, against a formidable adversary, which is the Black Moon Lilith. Now, if the Black Moon Lilith, say, is in Aquarius in the 10th house, as an example, it could be somebody that had person that was causing dissension in the astrology community that might have been out to also ruin your reputation and public image, which of course is the 10th house. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.